Hi again, folks. Welcome back to another reaction video. So today's request is for a band called AYREON. Hopefully I'm saying that right. The Day That the World Breaks Down, The Source 2017. Okay, so this is a song that's cropped up a few times in the reaction video requests. And interestingly enough, I actually got a request for this based off one of my performances of my own original music. I write stuff under the project The Ripple Face, and I have an instrumental video on there, and somebody discovered it there recently. I made a comment that my music actually reminded him of AYREON. Now, I've never heard of AYREON before. I've also had comparisons to Dream Theater, and Dream Theater is a band that I've listened to before, so I'm kind of curious to hear what goes on here, to see if there is anything there of similarity. If not, even on that, it's probably going to be up my street immediately, because I love sort of prog metal, So interested to see what's going to happen on this one. Okay, so without further ado, after 3, 2, 1. This reminds me immediately of like old video game music. Another World on the Amiga. Creating suspense.
A silence
James Abree.
so deafening.
Yeah, you can't mistake his voice.
As the stillness surrounds us.
Okay, so there's some sort of story going on here. It's gonna be hard to follow
A rush of fear is surging through our veins.
Whoa, nice key change there.
A shadow so menacing darkens our horizon. What have we done? Is this the end? When death descends.
Whoa. Oh, man. Wow, okay, that's a really beautiful introduction. I love the real cinematic vibe going on with all the wind. Like I said, I can get already that even only a minute into this is going to be a big epic journey, because they're setting up a backstory and characters, it looks like now. And the artwork on that reminds me a little bit of H.R. Giger, or I'm not sure, H.R. Giger, I think his name is, who did the concept work behind the Alien franchise movie, Ridley Scott. It looked very like the Alien spacecraft that they have in the first film there. And it said something about, it seems like it's going to be dystopian here, so there's obviously, maybe there's a sci-fi kind of element going on as well. There's a lot to take in. One thing I did like that jumped out to me was the effects used on the vocals with the panning of the delay. So at the end of some of the phrases, you got to hear his voice. Say it was repeated twice. You heard it on the left and then over on the right, and it's given this big sort of wide stereo image. Love the synthesized sounds as well. Like I say, I think I mentioned about the Commodore Amiga. We grew up with an Amiga, and a big fan of the soundtracks on that stuff. So it reminded me a little bit of the sort of hardware synthesizers. I don't know, he's maybe using plugins or hardware synths or whatever, but so within a minute and a half, there's just so many things that have come to me already. So there are my initial thoughts. So let's go on a wee bit. Always go back a bit first and then go on.
When death descends.
That's a lovely change. Get the flute out from Jethro Tull. Actually mentions Jethro Tull there, and Camel. I like Camel too. okay, this one's going to take a few listens to really unpack everything. This is right up my street, getting real big prog vibes there. I mean, I could see Jethro Tull and Camel were both mentioned. My dad listened to all sorts of music. You know, we grew up in a house with all different genres and so on, but he was always a big prog rock fan of the 70s. So, you know, I was exposed to a lot of that music early on, and I'm recognizing the influences in there. Okay, so very classical vibes as well, at least in terms of the structure. I know that there are classical instruments being played, and that seems like an obvious thing to say, but I mean, not only are we seeing violins, violas, cellos, all that kind of stuff, the actual arrangement of the music in terms of the, you know, it wasn't just a straightforward beat on the drums, hitting on all the stabs along with da 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 da, you know, it kind of reminded me very much of classical music with metal, like within a metal genre. You know, we're obviously going to get a sort of mashup of different genres in this. Okay, so we'll keep going. This looks like it's going to be a fairly long song. I'm really excited already. So let's go back a little bit and then proceed. Arpeggios, the right synth. Nice. Okay, so it is analog synths, not plugins. Nice. Prophet 5. Didn't see that coming. Okay, so I had to look a wee bit closer to see. I can see the guitarist is playing the bass parts as well. So if he's doing keyboards and he's doing guitars, I can see now why I got that comment on my videos, because I play the guitars and keyboards myself, and I play progressive instrumental music. So yeah, this is going to be right up my street, this kind of stuff. I'm going to go back a little bit and take that in. I like the fan fret on the bass as well there. Was it headless? No, it's not headless. I have a fan fret guitar. I used to have an 8-string fan fret Ibanez. Don't have that anymore, but I play a Strandberg, which has a fan fret, so I like that for the multi-scale aspect, a lower tune. And he said he wasn't dropped either on the guitar as well. So okay, let's go back a wee bit. God, there's so much going on in this. It's incredible. I wasn't expecting all the different singers to be part of this, but I guess I'm starting to get more of a sense now of the story they're talking about. So this seems, is this a concept album, or is the song just a concept song? But you know, the fact that there's like a whole backstory going on here, and it's like the singers have different roles, like characters. Yeah. Okay. So one of the things I did want to mention there was the drums. I really like that groove, you know. So there's lots of different ways that once we got into the verse there, that the drummer could have been playing that groove, but there's almost like a kind of military feel with a snare, you know, hearing lots of flams and things on that. It's just an unusual groove. I know I can't really place it. It doesn't remind me of something else that I've maybe heard before, whereas all of the sort of elements within this, you know, like I said before, you know, the prog music, I mean, it's very progressive, and you know, it's going to have sprinklings of lots of influences on all those kind of bands and so on. So it's nice to hear, even though certain things sound familiar, there's still like invention going on, or at least I'm being surprised by things that don't sound familiar. The production is insane. I feel like this is going to be quite a long video. I'm sorry, I know some of you don't really like to hear me talking, but I guess that's what a reaction video is, isn't it? Surely, you know, there's no point in me just sitting watching this going like, oh, that's good, that's good. You know, I'm trying to give you my thoughts. So let's go on a bit. Anyway, let's try and keep things moving here. So let's go back a bit and move on. Like that guy's voice.
I can't believe this is happening. I can't believe we are headed for a fall.
Prepare for the flattening. We must prepare for the day that the world breaks down.
Beautiful harmonies there going on, lots of layered vocals. I'm kind of getting distracted by the riffing, you know, on the keys and the guitars. You know, it's just so ornate and beautiful. It's, oh my God! Right, okay, let's keep going.
The day that the world breaks
I can feel it in my heart. I can see it in the stars. Behold, it's all been foretold. The future unfolds. The day that the world breaks down.
Okay, amazing transitions on this. You know, this is going to be an epic journey. I think I've said that already. That groove on the drum there, was that like a paradiddle he's playing there between the ride and the snare? You know, I've recognised the band Opeth using that before in some of their older music. On first impressions, that's what it seemed like. It's a nice groove to listen to there. Love all the theatrical singing as well on top. Got a little bit of a vibe of Iron Maiden, at least in terms of Bruce Dickinson's voice there. Not really so much in terms of what's going on musically, but that real theatrical kind of powerful male vocal, yeah. So yeah, okay, let's keep things going. Oh, here come the time signature changes. There's actually the Iron Maiden mentioned there as well. I mean, it's I know that he's talking about going into Iron Maiden anyway, but that's interesting. I think there's a couple of bands I've mentioned so far. He's actually came up on the screen with that. I love to see the rotary thing going on with the Hammond organ there. You know, you get that when you play a chord and you get the rotary. You know, it's like the speaker spinning around. You get that warble. Woo, 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 woo. You know, so it's I like the video as this really really interesting. You know, like especially somebody who spends a wee bit of time in studios recording and so on. Like, you know, you're kind of a bit of a geek, you know, when it comes to music and musical instruments. So I'm geeking out hugely on this, not only from just on so many different levels. That riff there kind of put me in mind of very early Dream Theater, you know, like something of Images and Words or maybe Awake. Da 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 da, and then I guess, you know, because was it in 7 or 5, and I never really took the time to work that out, but yeah, the odd time signature there as well was giving me sort of Dream Theater vibes. So, whew, let's keep going. New wave British heavy metal.
I always knew this would happen. Not many believed in my cause. I'm sure they will all turn to me now.
Very theatrical.
I'm sure I am the only one who can save us from this fate.
Oh.
I always knew they would need me. Not many show faith in my plans. I'm sure they will listen to me now. I'm sure that I'm the only one who can save.
Okay, so I'm getting that there. There's just so much going on here, man. This is really difficult to all take in. I heard that dun, 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 where he's talking about Steve Harris from Iron Maiden, that galloping thing. Dun, 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 dun. Really heard that coming through in that last verse. Um, in terms of the vocalists that's being used, obviously I know James the Breather, who was the first one. I don't recognize the names of any of these other singers so far. I mean, judging by the age of some of them, they've been around for a little while, so maybe they are, or some of those guys, part of we talked about the new wave of British heavy metal, and there's a lot of different bands within that movement, so with the outsourced there, other bands that maybe just bands I maybe just have never got round to listening to, but I was getting a little bit of a sort of power metal vibe a little bit with the vocals, and power metal as a genre is not one that I really explore that much. I mean, I only really listened to a bit of Manowar, and I don't know if you could even call Bal Sagoth power metal. It's maybe a blend between power and black metal, different things going on, but it was never really a genre that I sort of really investigated, but in terms of the vocal stylings, it reminds me a little bit of that, not so much in the music, but let's keep going.
Yes, I agree, you are the key. Your future lies in the heavens. Our future lies beyond the stars.
Last video.
Save them. We will save them. From this
Lovely drum fill. Da, 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 da. That riff that's played on the guitar there. Oh, what is that? Are they intentionally throwing that in? Oh, what is that riff? I recognize that. Bum, 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 bum. Is it Jimi Hendrix? Hey Joe. Da, 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 da. Okay, so I'm not accusing them of ripping that off. It's either just similar, but it sounded note for note like that. Sorry, it took me a while to get there. There's so much going on in this. Right, let's go back. This. Oh. I really love the video as well. The video is, man, I just love everything about this. This is just insane. Some of the talent that's out there is just like mind blowing. It's one thing to learn an instrument and be able to play an instrument well, but to compose this kind of stuff and be that good on all these instruments and then have an amazing video, then have the composition, then have the production. You can probably listen to this 100 times and still find new things in it. Wow. I like the way the visuals were done with the vocals of this guy, Michael Mills. I think he was the guy that was in earlier on with the vocals going around. Might be a little bit of Queen, the Bohemian Rhapsody video where you have all the vocals, but done in more like a modern way. Right, let's keep going. Changes are amazing. Yeah, not bad wonder. He sounds like a hero. My God. Okay, I've never heard anything like that before. It started off with the vocals there, and again I was reminded of Queen, very early Queen. The some of the stuff like March of the Black Queen on the Queen 2 album has really, really crazy vocals, going on. Like, you get all these kind of things, hard panned over here, over that. And what was that, 74? I think 1974. So, this kind of thing with all of the sort of vocals appearing, all over the sort of stereo image, if you like. I know Steve Vai likes to talk about the real estate or the landscape, of, it's not just wide, it's also up as well. So one thing that was nice there with the visuals, with the vocals, was that, matching all of the sort of way the vocals were panned. So when you heard a particular vocal over in this channel, and it also sounded like it was sitting higher in the mix, whether it was a higher pitch than a lower pitch, you're getting that represented on the screen as well, not only where it is horizontally, but also vertically. So there's a real immersive kind of feel of what's going on. I have to say now, like, of the reaction videos that I've done so far, it's real. I do enjoy doing this. I really enjoy doing it. But it's quite a difficult thing to do, to listen to a song for the first time and try and make a commentary. It's not easy. And depending on the type of song, some songs are easier to unpack than others. But typically when you're listening to anything that's a studio song, there are lots and lots and lots of tracks going on, so you might be visually getting a singer and a guitarist and all the rest of it, but you're getting all sorts of percussion and synthesizers, samples, also many things going on. So this sits way, 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 way. No, it's not. I'm not saying it's better or worse than some of the other things I've listened to, but in terms of the production that's going on in this, not only with the audio but also with the video, we're into like in the stratosphere with this kind of stuff. This is way, 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 way up. Yeah, right. Okay, let's keep going. What's the binary thing? 0, 1? What does that mean? You'll have to tell me. Ooh! Is that a Fender Rhodes? This is groovy. Oh, lovely.
I must have been blind. I mean, it should have been.
It's like a different song.
Straight out of my mind.
Symphony X. Turn it down.
On the cold machine. The sounds were strong. I know I was wrong. I know they will hate me now.
Okay, so I know I'm getting the guitar, the real spanky tone off the electric guitar. And we've got what sounds to me like some type of Fender Rhodes. I'm not sure which mark it is. It's a darker sounding one, so it's possibly a Mark 1. But anyway, we've got that sort of here. But the tone of the bass and the way the bass and the drums are locked in is really, really so groovy there. I mean, you can probably see him. I'm away, like, but there's a real bam, bam, bam off the bass. I don't know, is he slapping that stuff or whatever? But yeah, let's keep going. I needed this today. Like, this is a good day. Sunshine outside and all the rest of it. But yeah, I was, over my cup of coffee this morning. I was like, I want to get some reaction videos done today, but energy was low. This has picked me right up. This is just what I needed.
I know I was wrong. I know they will hate me now. Ooh, but I will come clean and destroy this cold machine. This is not over, not as long as we're alive.
Here's the guitar in now.
If we join our forces, we will make it. This is not over, as a race we must
I can see we're going into a solo here, so I'll just stop quickly before we get into that. There's something in the vocal tone there, or a little run that I got. It reminded me of Carry On Wayward Son by Kansas. Don't know, there's something reminiscent of anyway, yeah, I'm getting a wee bit of that. Okay, yeah, nice vocal part in that as well. Looking forward to this guitar solo. He's going to go in with a clean guitar solo, is he? Happy bit. Right, okay, who's this guy? Have I missed out on this guy? I mean, I love prog music, and I've never heard... I mean, is this a solo project? I mean, obviously, everything seems to be written in kind of like in the first person here or there, you know, so, I mean, there seems to be mainly one guy going on. I can't believe the caliber of this. I haven't detected this along the way somewhere, you know. Well, I guess 2017... Okay, so I've just missed it listening to other music, you know, that's what's happening. There's just so many different styles I listen to and so many amazing bands and things like that, you know. It's possible to miss stuff, but can't believe I missed this one. Gonna have to tell my dad about this band, he'll love it.
We're losing this fight.
Yes.
And yes, we got ourselves to blame. I guess it seems right in the mind of a cold machine. I'll fix every flaw, I'll break every law, I'll tear up the rule book if that's what it takes.
Nice.
You will see, I will crush this cold machine. This is not over, I am sure we'll find a way.
I have to say, those two guys' voices complement each other really, really well, coming out of that more gruff, kind of hard rock kind of vocal the other guy had, the past guy, and into this, you know, the theatrical thing. Nice transition musically coming out of there. So, be interesting to know. You can maybe let me know what way the singers have been recruited for this. The composer guy, I'm guessing the guitar, I'm guessing now, I could be completely off. So again, if this is your first time watching any of my reaction videos, you know, I purposefully do not go, I might going to sound a bit stupid here to some people, but I purposefully do not go and research it because I want to be as unbiased as possible. So if somebody tells me, it's a bit like films as well, somebody tells me there's a good film, and then they go say, I watched this film the other day, and then they go to tell me what's happening. I'm like, stop, I don't want to know anything. If it's good, I'll take your word for it, I'll go and watch it. It's the same with music. I try not to know who's involved, where they're from, how many albums they've got. I've got time to learn that, you know, as I go on. But there's something to me that's very exciting about discovering music, not knowing anything about it. It's like looking at a painting, for instance, you know, without the artist standing there telling you everything about them, you know. So I just love to take that in. So I'm kind of curious as to like how the composition ends up being made. And so, like, even the choices with the tone of the vocalists, you know, it's very, it's like a little kind of extra tip of the hat, if you like, you know. Okay.
Machine. This is not over.
Beautiful.
I am sure we'll find a way out of this desperate situation. This is not over, even if it all seems hopeless.
Nice piano playing.
We'll cross this bridge.
Okay. off again on another one. There's the Prophet back out. Right, that solo was amazing. Do you know, the tone of it reminded me very much of Eric Johnson. You know, it's got that real creamy sort of sound. It's not very distorted. You know, it's somewhere between like a clean sound and a gainy or overdrive sound. Beautiful. Lovely construction of the solo as well. You know, again, doesn't surprise me because the composition here is, you know, this is like classical sort of level. You know, and what I don't mean to alienate anybody there. You know, by classical, I mean, you know, I'm a classical piano teacher. That's what I do. I play classical piano. I'm obviously into rock music as well. It's a massive part of my life. But so much of my admiration is for the likes of, you know, Chopin and Beethoven and Schumann and Liszt and all those composers. So I kind of have them as like, you know, they're kind of gods to me. This here, you know, writing for an orchestra, this is basically it, you know, using modern day instruments. This guy's right. Okay, I've never made that sound before, so yeah, this is exciting. Was there something else I wanted to say there? Oh yeah, there was only one tiny little thing that it's not a criticism as such, but one little thing that all of the little comments that are coming in there, I love all that sort of. I love the idea of like filling in. It's like Easter eggs, I suppose, if you like. You know, if you're watching making off a DVD, you kind of get a commentary to it. So he's able to provide that. Just a little bit through the solo, there was so many things that came up there. It did take me out of the solo a little bit. You know, it's not a criticism as such, but it's just there's so many things going on that, yeah, I'm going to need to lie down after this. I kind of felt like, you know, today I was going to maybe do a few reaction videos and pace them out over the next couple of weeks. This is my first one today, and it might end up being my last one because there's so much to take in. Right, do my best. Okay, we're back again now. No hurt. Oh my goodness. Right. I don't know. What else is there left to say? I don't think there is anything else to say. That was amazing. Genuinely amazing. Why is that? There's dislikes on this video. Who the hell is disliking this? I don't know. I don't understand sometimes. Okay, that was just masterful. You know, that's like the audio equivalent of listening, you know, it's like Jaws or Star Wars or, you know, one of those kind of things. This is, that word's used a lot, but epic and genius. It is incredible. Let's keep going with the wind noises though. I don't want to cut it off at the end because I did come in with that at the beginning, so I like the way they've got that, the circle, I feel like. All right, so yeah, the only thing there was is it Floor Johnson or Floor? I'm not sure how it's pronounced. Floor. I've done 2 reactions to Nightwish so far, and that's another band that, I mean, Nightwish I've heard of, you know, throughout the years. I know they've had different singers, but it was never a band that I ever took the time to get into. So her vocals have really stunned me recently, and the band as well. You know, really like their stuff. So you know, I've got links to their music. So if you enjoyed this reaction, you know. Have a little look through my channel there. You know, there's other reactions. I started doing this about a month or 2 ago. And I have tons of videos of me playing piano, some of my own original music, some cover stuff on there as well. I did a Steve Vai cover and I'm hoping to do some more. So if you enjoyed this, please do like it and subscribe. And I'm definitely going to have to do more of AYREON. I'm going to have to go and have a lie down now. So that was... Woo! Never done that before either, so yeah, I'm a changed man. Rightio, I'll see you all next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.